back to my channel, Keto with Sammy. For today's video, we are making one of my favorite school memory pizzas from back in the day. We used to have this for breakfast, but of course we have to put our keto spin on it. So today we're going to be making a keto school breakfast pizza. So let's get straight to the video. All right, so for our ingredients today, you're going to want some Jimmy Dean sausage crumbles, some almond flour, a block of cream cheese, some heavy whipping cream, and some chicken broth, 1 egg, lots of shredded mozzarella cheese. And then for our seasonings, we're going to be using some garlic powder, some paprika, some pepper, some salt, a little bit of poultry seasoning just for our gravy, and some xanthan gum to thicken up our gravy as well. All right guys, so the first thing we're going to do is make our pizza dough. I make my Fathead dough the same way all the time. This is just my main recipe I use. So first thing you're going to want to do is get a microwave safe bowl, and you're going to want 1.5 cups of shredded mozzarella cheese. And then to your mozzarella cheese, we're going to add 2 tablespoons of cream cheese. Now with just these ingredients, we're going to pop this in the microwave for 1 minute until melted. Okay, so after 1 minute, everything should be nice and melted. If it's still not melted, you can put it in for another 30 seconds. And now we're just gonna start adding the rest of our ingredients. Okay, so now to your cream cheese and mozzarella cheese, you're gonna add 3/4 cup of our almond flour, your 1 large egg, and then we're just gonna simply season this with some salt and pepper. And now you want to mix everything well together until the egg and almond flour is well incorporated. It may take up to a few minutes. Okay, so after a few minutes of mixing, your dough should look like this. It is going to be a little bit sticky, but now we're going to start pulling out our baking sheet and a piece of parchment paper. Okay, so I have my baking sheet and a piece of parchment paper so our pizza dough doesn't stick. I am using a square one because this pizza is supposed to be square. Now we're gonna dump our dough out. My pan is a little bit big, so I only do half. And then right here, I just have some olive oil to stick my fingers in so your dough doesn't stick to your hands because it will be sticky. And now we're just gonna flatten it out into a square shape. You could fold half of the parchment paper and do it that way and just flatten it out. Just makes it a little bit easier. This may take up to a few minutes to work with. Okay, so once you have your flathead dough into a square, if you want to get really precise, you can just get a knife and cut off the edges. But now we're going to pop this in the oven to pre-bake. So now we're going to pop our crust into the oven at 400 degrees to pre-bake, and you want it nice and brown on top. While our crust is pre-baking, we're going to start making our country gravy. Okay, so now we have a pot on our stove for our gravy, and for our gravy we're going to add in 3 ounces of cream cheese, and we're going to let this melt down. But to our cream cheese we're going to start seasoning. So we're going to add some paprika, just a dash of our poultry seasoning, some garlic powder, some pepper, and some salt for some flavor, and you could add any other seasonings that you like in your country gravy. Now we're just going to get a whisk, and you're going to let this cream cheese melt down. It may take up to a few minutes. Okay, once your cream cheese is nice and smooth like this, now we're going to add in 1 cup of heavy whipping cream. If you're making more, you can just double these ingredients. Mix it together, and now you want to wait till your heavy whipping cream comes to a simmer. Okay, once your gravy is simmering like this, now we're going to add 1/2 cup of chicken broth. Give it a good mix, and now we're going to bring this to a simmer again. Okay, so once your pizza crust is nice and brown like this, we're just going to take it out and put it to the side and finish our gravy. Once your gravy has been simmering for about 2 minutes, we're going to add in a handful of mozzarella cheese. And then to get it even thicker, we're going to add in a dash of xanthan gum. I do recommend this, adding a little bit at a time. A little bit does go a long way, so I'm just going to add very little. And if you want it thicker, you can just add as you go. And then just give everything a good mix and let it finish simmering and get it nice and thick. Okay, so I went ahead and added 1 more dash of my xanthan gum just to get it nice and thick like this. So once it's thick, we're going to turn off our heat, and you do want to let it sit for about 2 minutes and it will get even more thicker. But it should look something like this. Okay, so now we're just going to start topping our breakfast pizza. So first thing you want to do is get your gravy and put that on your crust. Spread it out. You want to put a nice layer on here. Okay, once you have your gravy, we're going to put a layer of mozzarella cheese. Okay, and our last ingredient we're going to top this with is our sausage crumbles. You just want to sprinkle them right on top. All right, now we're going to pop this in the oven to get nice and melted on top. Okay, so now you want to pop this in the oven at 400 degrees, just until the cheese is nice and melted and your sausage is cooked through. So once your school pizza is done cooking, it should look like this. Now you do want to let it cool down, slice right into it, and enjoy. Question of the day, what was your favorite school food? Comment down below. Alright guys, so that concludes today's recipe. I'm just going to give this a quick try for y'all. This is what it looks like. Oh my god, it's so good. It reminds me of back in the day at school when we used to have these for breakfast all the time. I hope y'all enjoy this recipe. Please give it a try. If y'all recreate this recipe, post it on my Facebook page. I will link it below. Give this video a big thumbs up, share with all your family and friends, and I'll see y'all in my next video.